Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso at thewatchbox.com, your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Reach out to me directly, tmosso at thewatchbox.com. Today, we're discussing a 2017 Baselworld launch that had to be one of the best of the year, certainly one of Patek's finest. This is the much-loved Patek Philippe Perpetual Calendar 5320G-001, 40 millimeters in white gold. The watch is charismatic in its combination of color, character, and tension of line. 40 millimeters in diameter, it measures a fairly svelte 11.4 millimeters thick. From lug to lug, 48.2 millimeters and 20 millimeters, the spacing between the lugs. The timepiece has a fairly standard modern dress complication size, being neither large nor small. And when I fit it to my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, the fit is perfect. The lugs are nicely curved, so they wrap around the wrist. The over-the-top shot shows plenty of clearance on both sides. The cuff shot shows that you're going to have no trouble with tight sleeves. And then down the barrel, you can see I have some clearance on both sides. The watch is comfortable and substantial. We have a bit of a non-standard modification here, as we've fitted a high-grade handmade Parisian-cut Jean Rousseau strap. The Jean Rousseau straps are the equal of Patek factory. They're just more interesting aesthetically. You still have the pull-tab spring bars for quick release. You still have alligator leather on the top, but in a distinct break with Patek, you have alligator leather on the bottom too, which is a higher grade, somewhat more expensive solution, but one of which this watch is worthy. It has a lovely suede nubuck texture and a matte finish with elevated water resistance, though this is by no means a swimming watch. Now, the timepiece includes a matching white gold folding buckle. You can see the Calatrava cross on the top. This is your insurance against dropping the thing while you're donning and removing it at bedside. The case lines are strong. In particular, the triple-tiered, triple-fluted lugs are inspired by the 1940s reference 2405. Google it quick, keep me streaming, but check it out. You'll see that's the source for that lug design. The case flank is strong, with a burly step between the caseband and the bezel, and the caseband itself is pronounced. This watch has a lot of visual force. You'll note that the sapphire is dramatically cambered to give the impression of a plexiglass. This is as close as Patek will go to fitting a modern watch with a plexi. It's truly a vintage throwback. The dial, a lovely cream lacquer, off-white and glorious. You can see at center there are white gold, slightly oxidized and black polished hands, syringe-style hands for the hours and minutes, and there's a Lancet-style counterweighted seconds hand. You have both applique indices and applique white gold blackened numerals. So there's plenty of lume on this dial. A little bit more history. The dial is broadly representative of the original 1942 1526 Perpetual Calendar, but in particular it is the piece-unique 1944 reference 1591 that inspires this dial directly. In the center seconds, the aperture-style Perpetual Calendar, the moon phase, the Arabic numerals, it's a very close match, and I do believe that is the derivation of this dial from the historic Patek catalog. Now flip it over, you get a Patek Philippe 324. The movement is handsome, but also highly standard. This is a rare center rotor automatic Patek Perpetual Calendar, but like the other Patek Philippe seal, 6-position adjusted Gyromax silicone hairspring movements, it is guaranteed from the factory to run no worse than -3 plus 2 seconds per day. 4 hertz beat rate, that's 8 beats per second, 6-position adjustment. It has a Gyromax-style free-sprung architecture like most Patek movements since the mid-1950s. It was first rolled out in about 1950. The silicone hairspring is anti-magnetic, and as you can see, the movement features more materials innovation inside the ball bearing. So the rotor bearing itself uses ceramic bearings to further increase the unidirectional winding efficiency, and unidirectional winding is more efficient than bidirectional winding. You can see that this is a 29-jewel movement with glorious Côte de Genève in linear fashion across the bridges, circular across the rotor. There's engine-turned perlage on the center of the rotor as well as on the base plate. You can really see the mirrored anglage inside of every jewel and screw countersink, as well as the edge of all of the bridges. The timepiece is handsomely executed with satination on the individual wheels, and you can even see that the little reduction wheel adjacent to the rotor itself features an engine turning pattern. So the hand finishing factor here is high. You'll also note that the posts used to locate the bridges, they are black polished on their top, as are all of the screws, which featured chamfered slots as well as chamfered circumference. It is a gloriously good looking movement and a gloriously good looking watch. 35 to 45 hour power reserve. Just about the only refinement it does not have is hacking seconds. That's not a feature of this watch, but it is a perpetual calendar, which means you need not adjust it until you reach reach the year 2100. The moon phase has an even longer adjustment interval, as once set, it is good for 122 years. 30 meters water resistant, so it's not an aquatic watch, but that's why you have a Nautilus or an Aquanaut. Reach out to Tim Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details. And I'm back with the blazing Patek Philippe 5320G Perpetual Calendar.